Hey, this is Brendan. It's going to be a very short math video explaining how you can find limits of polynomial functions. Step one in finding a limit of a polynomial function is you're simply going to plug in for x. Step two is if the denominator is equal to 0, try factoring, see if you can get something to cancel out so you can get rid of that problem. So for number one here, the limit as x approaches 3. All I'm going to do to solve this problem is I'm going to plug in 3 for x. So this would be 2 times 3 minus 7 over 4 times 3 squared plus 8. 2 times 3 minus 7 is going to be negative 1 in the top, and on the bottom 9 squared, or 3 squared is 9, times 4 is 36, plus 8 is 44, and we would simply have our answer here, no need to factor. Going on to the next problem, I'm going to look at this. I'm going to go ahead and plug 2 in for this equation. When I do that, I'm going to find that this is equal to 2 minus 2 over 2 squared plus 2 times 2 minus 8. What we can see is that this is a little bit unfortunate. This is going to end up equaling 0 over 0. We know we can't divide by 0, so we have to come up with something else to try to solve this problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and factor this. Now the top cannot be factored. The top is simply going to remain x minus 2. But the bottom can be factored into x minus 2 times x plus 4. And we see that when we do that, this x minus 2 term and this x minus 2 term can cross off. So our problem now becomes 1 over x plus 4. If I plug x is equal to 2 into this equation, I'm simply going to come out with 1 over 6, and that would be my answer. Moving forward to the next problem down here, we can see that we're trying to find the limit as x approaches negative 3. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in negative 3 into this equation, and I'm going to find that I have negative 3 squared minus 9 over negative 3 squared plus 11 times negative 3 plus 24. And without boring you with all the arithmetic, we can see that again that this is going to equal 0 divided by 0. So what do we have to do? Well, we have to factor. And in this problem, we can see that the top here, this x squared minus 9, can be factored using the difference of squares. The difference of squares tells us that a squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b times a minus b. And the bottom could be factored. Two numbers that multiply to 24 but add to 11 would be x plus 3, as well as x plus 8. What we can see here is our x plus 3 terms can cross off, and then if I plug in a negative 3 into this reduced form, I'm just going to find that I have a negative 6 divided by negative 3 plus 8, or 5, and that would be my answer, negative 6 over 5. Looking forward to the next problem, what I can see is the limit as x approaches 5. Again, if I go ahead and put 5 in here, we're going to have 5 cubed minus 125 over 5 minus 5, simply going to equal 0 over 0 again. So what we have to do is try to factor this. Now this is a factoring problem that you may not remember, so I'm going to go ahead and write the formula down here. And what this is difference of cubes. So the difference of cubes is equal to a minus b times a squared plus ab minus, plus b squared. And so when I do this, I can see that my top value in this case is going to factor into x minus 5 times x squared plus 5x plus 25. What I can see is that when I have that, if it's over x minus 5, I can see that the x minus 5 terms simply cross out. And if I were to plug 5 in for what's left, it would be 5 squared plus 5 times 5 plus 25 which is just going to equal 75, and that would be my answer to that problem. So there you have it. It's pretty much how you solve these types of basic limits problems involving polynomials and factoring. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe.